What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to a new edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me, as always, is the little brother Jayce. How you doing, bro? Shot?
Hello, I'm doing good.
Good. How is the new digs treating you? The new location?
New parts undisclosed. Yeah, doing bad. We'll talk a little bit, but yeah, it's been fun.
Great.
It's a new experience.
Well, the set's really changed up dramatically, I must say.
Yeah, and then let me know if that light behind me is blinding, and maybe.
No, it's just pure truth.
Whoa!
Let's talk TV shows. I finally watched, and then this is going to seem super dated, but I just finally dragged myself into it. I finally watched the season finale of The Flash. And oh my gosh, what a train wreck that was. I felt like this was where Joe was when the train was about to kill him. This is where the show was. And they all went off the track at the same time. And my gosh. Hey, we need a bad guy. How about bringing in Reverse Flash? I guess that works.
But he's in jail after his lightsaber duel last season.
And then he was in Armageddon. I mean, these dudes, it's like, if only Flash had other bad guys for him to fight. If only. If only.
I mean, like, it was funny, like, they used, like, at the end of this season, last year, Godspeed was a thing, only to be replaced by Eobard at the end. It's like, you really didn't need to. It's like, we got rid of him at Armageddon. Okay,
but we didn't.
We can move on.
No,
we are not so attached to him being. We actually preferred him more as Wells than Eobard Thrawn all the time.
Well, I like him just fine as Thrawn. It's just he is their go-to crutch that's so bad the crutch is worn down. It's just he's like Tiny Tim walking around on a small crutch because they've used it so much.
I mean, also the fact is, like, even at this point, Barry isn't even shook on Thrawn. He's like, whatever, I'm better than you, dude. I beat you in a lightning lightsaber duel. I'm better than you.
Which was totally the point where the show went off the rails. But I decided to come back because I'm a glutton for punishment. And this is the one CW Arrowverse show that I've reviewed every episode. Haven't missed. And I'm regretting that right now because I would be tapping in any other circumstance.
He's tapping.
He's tapping. But I have basically stayed on track with Stargirl. I like Stargirl. I feel like they've managed to escape the problem of so many of these shows because their focus is on a teenager. So they don't have to go change from the focus on Stargirl to a teenager. It's right there. They can't do a bait and switch here.
It was funny because, like, I was watching the Smallville recap show, and they were talking about how a lot of the earlier CW shows focus, like, either it's the kids are rebellious or the parents are rebellious, and it's never a scenario. And they had to fight kind of CW Warner Brothers to say, hey, no, we can actually make everybody kind of a decent human being. And it seems like Stargirl also navigated that. It's like, no, the bad guys can be bad, but the parents don't have to have this conflict with their kids other than being teenagers want a little independence, but theirs makes sense because, hey, I'm a superhero, not trying to be a jerk.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. And I continue to enjoy Stargirl. Now, speaking of things I enjoyed, and this is one that not a lot of people have enjoyed. I'm in a text thread with a bunch of my buddies, fellow action figure collectors, and I feel like they're going the opposite direction I am with She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. I love this last week's episode with my man Billy from Entourage. I mean, I loved this episode, and I felt like this is the one they've been trying to do for the previous 3 episodes, and it finally worked. Where it was like, okay, the humor actually works. It's not trying too hard. It's not focusing on this sub-tier character. It's not making the Wrecking Crew look like a bunch of chumps. It's just basic stuff.
Back, okay? You know they can't they're not going to chump them out.
I am putting my betting hand pinky to the screen right now because I've seen characters like the Mandarin, big time characters, get chumped out. So
I'm thinking now Kevin Feige would not have let that happen.
Yeah, but Kevin Feige was the one who let that happen in the first place.
I said now he would. I didn't say he didn't. I said now he probably would.
Okay.
But I think one of the best things about this last episode of She-Hulk,
Madison.
Well, there's
Madison and Wong shippers. That was great too, by the way.
They were funny. But I think one of the best things about this was the first time She-Hulk wasn't bashing its core audience. And I think that helped a lot. It was like we just were making humor. And everybody can laugh at the jokes versus having a joke that literally is like, why? Does that eye roll take you out the moment and you're just like, all right, I'm done with this. I mean, it's like,
aren't dudes stupid? Dudes are so dumb, aren't they?
I mean, the guy being arrogant enough to think he's dating Megan Thee Stallion. It's just funny. I mean, like that. Was funny to me. Yes. It's like, this dude really thought he had a chance. Like, that's funny.
Yes.
Like,
but I think in that episode, what made it even better was that Megan Thee Stallion actually showed up. Like, they could have done that without her, but the fact that she showed up just totally sealed him. It's like, all right, I thought this subplot was going on way too long, but this totally turned me around on it, and I really enjoyed that payoff. Like, the whole 40 minutes or however long that was in the entire episode was worth it for that payoff.
Yeah. Like, because if you would just had a cam, like, the Asgardian elf, and it would have been, like, never heard changing into Megan Thee Stallion, it would still been like, okay, that's funny. I mean, but then it amps up when she's actually doing it. It's like, oh, Megan Thee Stallion just comes in there. Like, that was... I think it was like... And again, that's a little more less of the bash your core audience. Your core audience is stupid. Your core audience isn't as good as another audience, part of the audience. It's like, they've toned that down, and I think that last episode very much was just comedy. Like, you had the Wong at Madison shippers because they were a funny little couple. Like, hey, we don't know if they're going to be back, but it was funny. Like, She-Hulk was funny. Like, her doing the dating app, that was funny. It was like, and it was like, you had the random dudes like, hey, like, that is realistic. Like, hey, it's a bad first date. I think everybody has had those bad first dates. So it's like, okay, I can relate to this. Like, this is funny.
Yeah. But I think to go against your statement just a little bit, even if She-Hulk's core audience is 50% men and 50% women, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to bash 50% of your audience or 20% of your audience. If there's dudes just watching who want to watch a show about a female character, a woman who's doing her thing with superpowers, because you would think, I would think that that audience, that contingent of guys watching the show aren't the internet guys going, well, this is stupid because She-Hulk sucks. That's not that same audience.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one point.
You think this core audience is comprised of dudes who just hate watching it?
I'm thinking some part of the audience is the internet trolls. Like, I think Star Wars and any other sci-fi thing can tell you these guys are internet. Like, there is a whole lot of them that are internet trolls.
Okay, let me tell you this then. When Supergirl started going way off the rails, I decided I'm done with Supergirl, and I'm not going to keep watching the show. I'm not going to bother writing reviews saying how bad it is. I was like, it's a waste of time. I'm out. And I wasn't even doing it from a troll perspective. I was doing it from here's some critique on why this episode's not great. But I didn't have the patience to keep doing that week in and week out because the show started to suck.
Yeah.
And I would imagine I'm not the core audience of Supergirl or the audience that Supergirl wants to be its core. But I was good on keeping up with it and continuing to watch the show.
You were one of the smart ones who chose not to watch that 7th season. That was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with that show. So anyhow, with She-Hulk Attorney at Law, I feel this was a turning point for the series. And if we get that same tone for the rest of these other 5 episodes, I think they will have found the formula for success. Stop saying how bad dudes are and how trifling and whack they are, and just let She-Hulk be fun. Let the characters in her universe have fun without it being you dudes are so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you got 5 more episodes of this show,
and Daredevil's coming.
Yeah, it's like, all right, we know, we're probably sure that Daredevil's in the next episode. You can, if you kind of like, as all of Marvel Phase 4 has been basically, beside the earlier parts, like the initial TV shows of characters we already know, all of it's been a bunch of comedy. So if they can just hit the mark on comedy.
Was Miss Marvel comedy?
It was, yes, hers was comedy, but it was, I felt like when she was actually, Kamala was actually funny as a likable character. So I think it's like like she could make you laugh. She would make you laugh at like just kind of her, like, come on, mom. Like her interpretation, like the youthfulness was like, that was funny. So it was, you could have the comedy element with her, like she's a likable character that will make you laugh. But I mean, in the villains of the show, those were definitely comical.
Okay, well, I say maybe it was more of a sitcom style where it wasn't trying so hard to be funny. It just, the characters were humorous. And it was like, okay, this is cool. And I don't feel like they were trying to raise the stakes like the universe is about to end if Kamala doesn't do this thing. I thought it was pretty simple and basic. So I always give Miss Marvel a pass. I feel like so much of Phase 4 has been uneven in the sense of there are no stakes, nobody cares, nothing is happening of any consequence. There's no escalation of a threat like we saw from Iron Man to Avengers. It just feels like these are things happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, and it won't matter until Phase 5, which I think is kind of weird because from the start of Phase 1 to the end of it, it felt like, oh my gosh, this is getting really big. Oh man, the Avengers are coming together.
You know, the weird thing about that is, like, the Eternals could have been like this extra ordinary game changer. Like you had the Celestials, like they're using the planet basically as a birthing chamber, like, or something like, oh, we're starting to get into the powers cosmic. Like you might have a Herald, you might have a Silver Surfer, Terrax come through. Like just like, hey, we're not saying Galactus is coming, but we're saying, hey, something worse than Thanos is around the corner. And you could have still had these kind of street level characters working that stuff, but then it's like at the end it's like, wait, what's that dude? Is that a guy in a surfboard? Like just knowing like that would have been like, oh, okay, well there's something bigger coming. Now it's just, yeah, life is life, you know, after people think Thanos was right, and yeah, that's it.
So to continue with your thought, the first major villain that we saw was Loki, and Loki was established in first Thor and carried over to Avengers. So it was like, okay. Then we had Ultron as like a mid-boss character who did things. He killed an Avenger. So it was like, oh man, you really did some stuff there. And then we got to Thanos. And it was like, okay, we felt that sense of everything is mounting. We had Ronan in between. We had the Winter Soldier, who's a formidable villain just for Cap. We had Malekith and the Dark Elves to keep Thor busy. Then we had Ronan. I said Ronan already, right? We said Ronan for the Guardians. And then we had Ego, who was another major character for the Guardians section of the universe. So when Thanos came around, it was, whoa, okay. Now everything has been building up to this big bad guy. And then Infinity War was totally this is why this guy was a big bad guy of all this Infinity Saga. Eternals, I think the problem with them was Nobody cares about them. Nobody cared about them going in. They didn't have a hook like Guardians of the Galaxy. Are you kidding? There's a talking raccoon in a tree. And they've got this crazy soundtrack. Eternals look boring. The trailers didn't make it sound exciting because they were like, oh, you Superman? Well, shoot, let me just watch the Superman in Justice League. There's nothing that was so like, oh man, Eternals looks like it's gonna be a great movie. If it did not have, if it was on Netflix and didn't have the Marvel Studios banner, it would have been canceled. Like Netflix would have been, Eternals is not getting.
Jupiter's Legacy it's proved you exactly how that show would have gone.
Yeah, that's how it would have went. So I felt like that put him in the hole right away. And then we had Shang-Chi, and they weren't quite sure, is he going to join the now defunct Avengers? But I feel like I mentioned already, the big problem with that was it was Shang-Chi, his sister, Awkwafina, and not just about Shang-Chi. And that was a real problem with it. And Trevor. Right. So it was too many people taken away from the title character there. And then we had Black Widow and was like, hey, this is cool. I guess Black Widow's before all the rest of this. The order of all this is out of whack because Black Widow was a flashback. So we knew there was only going to be so much that it really amounted to. And now we know it's just introducing characters that are going to appear in this other movie. So let me jump ahead because we've talked about what's in the past. But now we know what's going to come for Phase 5. Phase 4 ends this November with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I think unless Black Panther Wakanda Forever is one of the greatest Marvel movies ever, I think we can safely give Phase 4 a pass, a skip, like, whew, all right, that's over. Hopefully Phase 5 will be better.
Okay. And now see, the one thing is, Marvel can create a heck of a trailer. And I mean, like, that trailer for Black Panther, because Ari, I think you can listen to plenty of our episodes.
It was great.
Man, but that trailer was like, if you're gonna wrap it up on this, all right, cool. Like we already know you're expanding the universe. We're mentioning something. We're paying off to something that was mentioned in Endgame. So it's like, yeah, let's go from here. Like this could be something cool. And then we definitely need a springboard to Phase 5 though.
But I don't think this is going to be it. I think it's just going to be a self-contained Black Panther story that's not going to really mean anything going forward. Maybe we'll just introduce, hey, sure, he's a new Black Panther. Like, that'll be the biggest thing. And I feel like too much of Phase 4 has been, we're introducing all these people. We're basically filling in roles of characters we already cared about. We got Elena as the new Black Widow. Shuri as the new Black Panther. Sam as the new Captain America. What am I missing?
Well, I mean, we're passing the torch.
Jen as the new Hulk in the universe.
Okay, but again, but was she actually denied entry into the Avengers? That's the big question.
There's no Avengers. Kevin Feige said it. There's no Avengers right now.
But that's kind of a cool opening. It's like, hey, there are no Avengers. We have to admit that, and we need to make that clear almost in the movies. Like, like after Thanos, the Avengers broke up. That is Tony Stark. That was the mission. The mission's over, and now it's time to go to do something else. Like, but now you're filling in. You still have heroes, and you know there's villains. So we got to kind of, all right. Here's the ranks are, revving back up, and let's. And for Phase 5, let's go. Now we're gonna know all these characters. Now let's go.
All right, so D23 occurred this past weekend, and I was thinking it's gonna be so major. There's gonna be so many cast announcements. We should just do the show on Saturday. And it was like, okay, this is cool. We'll just wait till regular episode to record. And I don't know. So we got the reveal of Thunderbolts. As someone who grew up reading the Thunderbolts comic, the first one in live time, not the 80th iteration they've done at this point in the comic book world, it was so good. And I felt like this was the perfect, ideal time for a Thunderbolts movie. to enter into the Marvel Cinematic Universe with half the original core Avengers dead, no team of Avengers existing right now. And basically, it's Winter Soldier and the Black Widow crew. What do you think about this team? We've got Yelena, Bucky, Red Guardian, Taskmaster, Ghost, and Val, who I guess is going to be on the sidelines.
And
and U.S. Agent. Sorry. Wait. I didn't want to forget my Captain America stand-in, even though I have Bucky. Right.
Mm-hmm. I really was expecting, Daniel Bro to be there? You know, I was like instead of that was the last, like when they were going to say that last cast, I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be, Baron Zemo's coming back.
Yeah, Baron Zemo dancing in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'd already set the precedent. Like when they did the video presentation, I was figuring that was going to be Dancing Zemo. And it wasn't. It was like, hey, I got COVID or something. I'm chilling. It's like, that's cool. But
I think she was in Cannes promoting her Don't Worry, Darling movie.
That was kind of okay. That's cool. She's back. I don't. Her back isn't a big surprise because it's like you've been back in Hawkeye, so you really didn't leave us.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of I was let down by that cast. Because it's like, yeah, they're cool, but Ghost is on. Ghost, what are you doing here? Like, did you grow up in a red room or something? What happened?
Well, I like Ghost because she's not tied to any of the Black Widow Russian contingent like the rest of the characters. And I guess U.S. Agent isn't either, but I feel like there's so many redundant members on this team. Like, choose one. Red Guardian, Black Widow, U.S. Agent, Taskmaster. Just one. And Winter Soldier. We don't need 4 of those characters doing the same thing.
And they're all from... It's almost... They should just kind of call the movie From Russia with Love. Maybe
that was been taken already. Or just Black Widow 2.
That sure as heck isn't getting taken. But yeah, I was just like, I thought y'all were gonna kind of make this. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Like, oh, okay, well, we're bringing more of that story. But I really thought this was gonna be like, and yes, this is my expectation. I'm thinking this is gonna be like challenge to the Avengers, but it's like now it's just a bunch of folks from the Red Room, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like in my perfect casting world with this, we would have seen Baron Zemo leading this squad as Citizen Z. We don't even know who Citizen Z is until the end. We could put Yelena in there, U.S. Agent in there, and Ghost I think is fine. Then throw in that White Vision from WandaVision. That would have been a really fun addition to that
Vision
squad.
would have come in there.
Yeah, so throw him in there, kind of pay off all these characters. I would have thrown in Jude Law's character from Captain Marvel as well. Have him be somebody, oh shoot, he's here in this thing, kind of being yes, I'm a Marvel as well. So we could have played off of characters who we've seen in this thing and doing stuff before. Maybe an Ultron drone. Maybe have somebody piloting an Iron Man suit, Justin Hammer. Maybe. I feel like there were lots of potential, lots of opportunities for different characters beyond, hey, if you miss Black Widow, here's why you really should watch it.
Here's the movie we should have made 20 years ago.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're trying to make Black Widow more important than it really was, because it was just a flashback movie, essentially. And, this is how Black Widow got that green vest in Infinity War. Okay, cool.
And that hair dye? It's here.
Yeah, so it's just, I know, it's kind of weird. But Marvel tends to have a good track record so long as it's not heavy on the jokes. I think we'll be okay.
Sorry. Have you watched Thor and Love and Thunder now that it's on Disney Plus?
I haven't. I really haven't. I keep feeling like I need to revise my listings of my Marvel Studio films, because I feel like it's Eternals, it's Iron Man 3, and it's Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, you like that movie more than I did.
Love and Thunder,
really,
or
yes.
Iron Man 3. It's because of Chris Hemsworth. It's because I've established a cool bond with this guy. They just think he does Thor well, and in those brief moments where it's not, let's kill all the drama with another joke, he just gets to be Thor. He's showing off his powers. He's doing his cool stuff. I really like the black and white scene. I thought that looked great. It wasn't jokey. That was just played up seriously. The big fight was pretty cool, and okay, we're going to give these kids some powers, but okay, that's fine. They're not really going to be around for the end. I think that just and Chris Hemsworth props it up so it's not the worst. And the fact that they didn't kill him off, because that would have been way past Eternals if they had done that. I feel like that gets points for this movie simply for not doing what I feared they were going to, just to be like, sorry, you're just going to have to accept Jane Thor because she's the only Thor left. So not doing that, I think helped it out a lot.
We have, what is his daughter's name?
Love.
Love. Okay. Yeah, so.
I'm glad that Korg is not a member of the Thunderbolts. I would not have watched it if he was there.
Okay, would you watch another Tiki Thor movie?
Probably not. I probably would. They could have put Valkyrie on the Thunderbolts, because they could have tried to do some lies and manipulation and make her part of this team. That way there could have been an Asgardian. I feel like there are better characters in the MCU who are still viable, still around, that would have made a far more interesting team of Thunderbolts than what we got.
Yeah, especially in Marvel, like they have done this kind of gray villains.
Yeah,
and you could play. I mean, it's just there's a better way to. I mean, I think we all think there's a better way they could play it up. It's like, I mean, like Thanos was evil, but he had a, well, you can see his point. It's like go with like somebody like Baron Zemo, who's like, hey, I am totally, I got my own objective and motive.
Oh, bad guy.
Last you saw me, I was in Maripol. Hey, you could add Sharon Carter in there.
No, she's too big. She's actually too big a character because she's not playing for laughs. She couldn't work in that. And I assume she's going to be one of the main villains in Captain America: New World Order. And I'm not thrilled that Bucky's not going to be in that, because I like their dynamic. We're going to have the new Falcon show up in that, and that's going to be okay, I guess, but I like the Bucky and Sam dynamic that we had established already. Mm-hmm. They're going to be going against the leader, which seems interesting.
I mean, like when I saw the review of the actor who just was played leader 13 years ago, it's like, you do know he's actually as strong as Hulk, and he's stupid smart, and him manipulating like I could totally see him manipulating the world, like, yeah, turn against all your heroes and X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, that seems like almost you should need a Avengers level team to actually end up beating him. I mean, which could happen, but like, hey, we're gonna have She-Hulk back, all her CGI glory.
Again, Kevin Feige has stressed that there is no Avengers, and that's part of what makes Captain America: New World Order so interesting, because Falcon Sam is going to have to do this all on his own without being able to call up his buddies, because apparently his cell phone doesn't work anymore.
I was going to say, like, what is he like? Seriously, he's like Flash in the TV show. Oh, I can't actually run over the guys I can get to in 2 seconds.
Right. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have access to the Wakandans. I mean, hello, what's up, fam? Help me out.
Sam, do you mind getting in that iron suit?
Rhodey, you mind getting in that suit?
Yeah, Rhodey, can you mind flying over here?
That'd be swell. I mean, so we'll play along with them, but I need an Avengers to form soon. Word is that the Ant-Man 3 writer has been tabbed to write Avengers Kang Dynasty. And Ryan Coogler may be directing, which one is this? Secret Wars. That's kind of interesting. Speaking of secrets, we got the trailer for Secret Invasion, featuring Nick Fury in bad need of a haircut and a barber.
Hey, he's been off world for a couple years. He hadn't figured out where them razors
I mean, he needed to find some barber somewhere among the scrolls. I mean, don't they have some knowledge of Earth techniques? I mean, give me a little fade or something. Jeez. So, he's coming back. We've got Queen Daenerys in there. And Lord Bridgerton. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not Bridgerton, but you know what I'm saying. The Duke from Bridgerton. I think that could be really cool. We see Rhodey's going to be in it a little bit. That's excellent to see. But again, I wish they threw in some characters who were dead in that trailer just to blow your mind. Like, oh, shoot. Is that Coulson? What's happening?
Nah, that's when you have, like, Quicksilver. Did you miss me?
I bet you didn't see that happening. Now, that's how they could have ended the trailer. Bam. Yeah. Oh. You didn't see that happening? We did not. Secret Invasion. Boom. Yeah. I'm still salty about that all these years later. Speedster can't see bullets coming. Okay. Okay, Prime.
We're basically seeing 9,000 things where the Speedster can literally pluck the bullet and go elsewhere. It's like, I was not going to say, oh, those 20 bullets are coming at me. You know what? I can just move each one of them quickly, you know. I mean, because we saw Quicksilver in the Marvel, the Fox movie. He's just like, okay, move this bullet here, this one there. Like,
that's really all it would take. And especially since they're coming from one direction. Anyhow, so we've got the trailer for Werewolf by Night. That was interesting. I thought that looked kind of different than what we've seen so far in the MCU. You have the look of somebody that didn't see this trailer, so I'll just move on. But I think you should watch it.
It was one of those, like, if you have a longer segment, I was going to quietly, like, have the phone.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah. Nope. I see it. Yeah, like, it seems like an interesting, like, okay, that's different. Let's go with it. Like, so nobody can complain. They're just doing the exact same formula all the time.
Speaking of not doing the same formula all the time, because Warner Brothers Discovery, whatever it is called now, didn't want Marvel to have all the fun this past weekend. We got a still released of Lex Luthor for Titan Season 4. Because if they're going to fight Scarecrow in Season 3, why not fight Lex Luthor in Season 4? Again, if only the Titans had good villains that they could draw from to fight the Teen Titans. If only.
Look, they have Hive they could use.
Brother Blood. Lots of characters. The Fearsome Five.
Didn't they do Brother Blood?
Let's say if they did, it was terrible.
Of course. I mean, hey, I'm still actually salty the fact they have my man Prometheus and She-Hulk. It's like, come on, you can't do him dirty. He should be a major villain, dang it.
He should. He really should. He was the best villain we saw in Arrow outside of Deathstroke. Yeah. And they should have just stopped it after that. That should have been when they stopped and we're like, we're never going to beat this season. Let's just imagine everybody else dies except for Oliver and call it a night.
And then that's why he's on that faraway world where it's just Oliver by himself.
Yes.
Because everybody loves his dead.
Exactly.
Damn.
But the actor playing Lex Luthor actually has me slightly encouraged. I probably should not. But it's Titus Welliver. And Titus is, you know him from Lost. He was a devil. He's Star Bosch. But he's sporting the John Cryer beard. I'm not a fan of that.
Really? I don't like that.
You don't like the beard?
No.
Lex needs to be a cue ball all around. Cue ball all around.
No. But I mean, like, that's their way of, like, you know, we want to have our Lex Luthor be different. But it's like,
he's not different. Supergirl's Lex Luthor just had the beard. This is why their whole thing is such a mess. Because they can't even stay consistent with anything. Like if Lex Luthor in Supergirl had a beard, your next time you see Lex Luthor, he should not have a beard so as not to confuse people. You look really confused at this.
Wait, who was he on Lost?
He was the devil. The man in black.
No, he wasn't. Oh, he's doesn't have his gray hair.
Yeah. He's clean shaven.
Yeah, he plays a character in other shows, and it's like he's also cool, but it's like you don't need to have. He's actually would look cooler, just gray beard. Oh, Titans! You gonna watch that show this season?
Titans burned me so bad. I still think I have some PTSD.
I was gonna say, because you can watch that mess, but I ain't touching it.
And then add on the fact that it's probably going to be the last season of it. It's like,
We're gonna burn it. Yeah. Didn't you do that last season?
Oh man! But I those first 3 episodes of last season, I was like, oh man, this is incredible. And then it was like, what is the opposite of incredible? We're going to do that for the rest of the season.
Decredible. Perfect. Yeah, it was. I think that's almost like once they did this show, all 20 or however many episodes, they said, "Man, these 3 episodes are really good. Man, the rest of this is trash. Maybe we should release it all 3 episodes, the original 3, so it gets everybody hyped, and then week to week they steadily lose all hope for life of watching the show."
Like I did.
But at least 10 episodes in the future, so we got time.
I just feel like their biggest problem was we're gonna make Scarecrow a threat to Nightwing, Starfire, Superboy, Wonder Girl, and Blackheart, and Changeling / Beast Boy, and Raven. Cool? No. Scarecrow gives Batman fits for a little bit, but he is not a kind of villain that you can stretch out for 10 plus episodes.
Raven would have taken him out in what?
There's so many ways he would have been beaten. It was like, come on, guys, we need to introduce the second half villain pronto. Oh, you're not doing that. Okay. Oh,
Blackheart. I mean, like
she was right there.
Like it wasn't like she had like this super moral compass that I can't get rid of these idiots. Like,
nope.
Yeah, he's you can get rid of him. I mean, is he wasn't like playful jokester? I know he's not. He's always fear, but it's like, oh, this dude's killing that many people. Yeah, he can go.
Yeah,
like we're getting rid of Hawk because he's got killed Jack Reacher, and he's like perfect call.
He's like, see you guys, I'm out. I'm a little busy.
I'll come back for an episode
because this Amazon money is more consistent and more reliable than this whatever it is you've got going here.
HBO Titans universe thing. Yeah, I don't even know who's signing my paycheck. I'm good.
Speaking of who knows what's going on in the DC Warner Brothers universe, Joker Folie Deux is reportedly going to be told from Harley Quinn's perspective, which will explain the musical selections. There is zero chance I'm excited about this movie.
Excited?
Maybe I should say remotely interested in this movie. That first movie didn't need a sequel.
Way to say how bad no one wants to see this movie?
I'm sure somebody does, but I know people, you and I on this, do not. And I don't get the appeal for a sequel to a Joker movie with no Batman. Still lost on that.
It's like, and the Joker is just a guy who laughs.
Speaking of things you're excited about, Avatar 2. Where are you?
Oh, well, YouTube actually asked me about that, and I said, yeah, I heard of it. Ain't going to see it. Like, I mean, as much as I enjoy my 3D TV and reminded me why 3D is really cool, but did you watch that movie a second time, people? No.
I know. James Cameron said...
We're good.
James Cameron said 3D is not as dead as movie theaters and studios believe. Now, if James Cameron can get 3D Blu-rays back, I will happily tote the company line of how great Avatar 2 is. Otherwise,
if he can get 3D TVs back,
yes.
then he'll be coming to me.
Right. Hey, dude.
Mine's burnt out, so
yeah, mine is like, yo, it's me watching The Flash, tapping all the way out. One thing to be excited about, though, next week we're gonna have Andor, first 3 episodes showing up. It's our guy from Rogue One back, and it's an extended prequel. We're gonna figure out what Cassian was doing before he hooked up with the Rebellion. Now, on an excitement level of Avatar to Megan Thee Stallion actually hitting you up, where are you?
I can't. That second one, I wouldn't do that anymore. I'm out of those games. But on the
if you were single and not totally wrapped up and just entangled, there you go.
Well, hey, my entanglements are legitimate. We're gonna move on from that. But on the subject of Andor, I want to see it, but I'm really trying to figure out how. I don't know how many episodes they're gonna do, but it's like, how long? What kind of backstory we're gonna get out of Cassian? Like, how much are we gonna get from Endor? I mean, it's like, how much different is this gonna be than I guess, live action? Now, I'm gonna say a live action Rebel, but then I'm like, I'd rather see in my head. I'm like, I would rather see a live action Rebels.
Okay. It looks like there's going to be 2 seasons of Andor. First one is 12 episodes.
I mean, like, because it's funny because it's like the rebellion doesn't really spark almost until Rogue One. It's kind of a thing they kind of think they may do, might not do. So to try and get 2 seasons, that just seems like a stretch. So
I feel like there are going to be pockets of rebellion throughout the galaxy before they come together as the Rebel Alliance. So I think there's a perfectly valid way they can have Kanan and his crew doing one rebellion, Cassian and his group doing another rebellion before it's like, listen, we're all trying to stop the Empire. Let's come together and stop them.
But that's how it was in Rebels, though. It was like basically like in like I think in like season 3 or season 4, it was like after that thing we did in LaFall, there's actually some people who want to kind of do something bigger, like how it was in Rogue One. It's like that was almost like the council after LaFall. So now it's like, okay, how do you can get like you can make it a suspenseful spy kind of drama. I don't know how. Like under the Disney banner you can do it, but it's like, yeah, there's opportunity. I think there's opportunity.
It was done. Rogue One was under the Disney banner. It's the best thing they've done.
And then again, I do not.
On the
do
movie
not
front.
hate on Rogue One. Like Rogue One is part of I got to watch. If it's on, I watch that movie. Like, don't care the platform. If it's on, I'm watching that thing.
I'm not watching if there's commercials. I just go to my Blu-ray.
You're a snob.
I am. I hate commercials that much. Stop breaking up the movie.
Yeah, it's like first commercial break. All right, fine. Yeah, but I want to see this. I like to have Mon Mothma back, so I really want to see where they go with the show. I'm definitely not hating on, but I'm cautious on like the where this is gonna go.
Okay, well, I will let you know soon. The good folks of Disney have sent along some preview episodes for me to watch, so I'm looking forward to watching it very soon. So I'll let you know soon. Anyway, okay. All right, well, that is all the stuff to talk about right now. Now it's that time of the week that's been long neglected. There should be tons of options. Who, dear brother, is your nominee for Dummy of the Week?
I'm going to go with my Dummy of the Week to stay on entertainment is whoever thinks people are actually still wanting to watch the Emmys. Viewership once again down. I mean, even the people who actually are on Emmys are like, yeah, this is the lowest Emmys ever. And then when you add in the streaming from Peacock, it's still the lowest ever because no one streamed it on Peacock.
who
it's
has
just
Peacock.
nobody. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy Peacock, but that's not a thing anymore. But it's like, guys, you can't tell me, hey, would you rather watch football opening weekend or the Emmys? Yeah, nah. Like, y'all didn't plan that one out better? Like, seriously? Like, there's a week before, like, that week of preseason ends. Here's your golden opportunity. Going up against opening night Cowboys football. Yeah, that was a loss, dude. Bad call.
It's a bad call, Ripley. All right, so my choice is all of these high-take experts saying definitive statements about the state of the NFL after week 1, where the Packers got blown out big time, and Mike Martz is drunkenly showing up on podcasts saying that he doesn't see anything good about Trey Lance. I mean, it's just a mess. And
I like how you said drunkenly said that.
I'll send you the clip.
Oh gosh.
He's clearly drunk. Clearly, he's just one more Merlot away from. Oh, let me tell you what I really think about you guys.
Hey, I'd like to give you a kiss.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep Susie Colbert away from Mike Martz. Yeah, it was bad. But my favorite non-dummy of the week moment was when your guy and my new favorite non-Niners tight end, Shannon Sharp, correctly called out Brett Favre as a sleazebag. A sleazebag for a long time for trying to scam and work around the system to get this $1 million stadium built for his daughter's college volleyball team. Let's take away money from the poor welfare recipients of Mississippi and make a stadium for Brett Favre's daughter so she can play volleyball badly.
It's like, it literally, the money you could donate out of your own pocket to make the stadium and actually call the Brett Favre volleyball stadium.
Exactly.
But, I'd really rather not. Like,
I'm going to, apparently he blew a lot of money on painkillers. It doesn't get mentioned whenever they talk about how great he was. I've been a long time Brett Favre hater. And I want to make sure this is on record as usual.
Funny thing, I mean, like, when I saw the clip, I'm just like, hey, I know you're going to love this, but I actually appreciated that Shannon literally called him out for every stuff. No one talks about this dude on painkiller. Nobody talks about his emails. It's like somehow Brett Favre gets this golden pass. I don't know if everybody thinks that Madden is the only one who talked about hey, John Madden said he was great, but we don't talk about all the other Brett Favre sleazy stuff. It's like,
he is a true sleazeball. As much as I dislike Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre is so far removed from that conversation. He's so far. He can't even see. Aaron Rodgers can't even see Brett Favre, no matter what kind of shaman he's visiting.
He's been immunized from that mess.
Whatever. It's ridiculous. So, Brett Favre, you remain a sleazeball, and yeah, good job calling him out, Shannon. All right, bro, shot. It's time to see where this foolishness of Married at First Sight has descended into, and of course, where things are going with Big Brother. Thank you as always for joining me. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.